everyone? I'm sitting here with Stav Shwartz from the MMA. He's the first Orthodox Jewish fighter here in Sacramento at the Alpha Male Gym, training with Uriah Faber. So Stav, please introduce yourself.
Nice to meet you. Happy to be here. My name is Stav Shwartz. I'm from Israel. I moved here on August 24th to pursue my career and chasing my dreams to be the first Jewish fighter from Israel in the UFC and the first champion from Israel.
Wow, amen to that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, of course, now we know every single fighter comes out representing their country with a flag, with cheering, with their anthem. So how do you feel it's going to be representing Israel, especially now in the political climate?
So I was always very proud to represent my country. Even in my previous fights, I always came with the flag and I was very proud to represent. But after October 7th, there is something different, you know? When you represent your country, and especially the Jews around the world that being chased right now, especially in America, we see horrible actions of anti-Semites against Jews. So right now we feel different, you know? I feel more proud, and I use it as fuel into my fights and, you know, winning fights and chasing the dream.
So there's very little Jewish fighters, right? Why do you think it's so unique to be a Jewish fighter?
So I think that most of the Jews, especially in Israel, don't get the opportunity for that. You know, because of like the army and like chasing something else, and most of the people not willing to do the steps to move to America because I'm young. I moved here when I was only 19, barely 20. So, you know, it's hard, but if you want to do something big, you have to go big, you know? That's what I believe.
That's beautiful, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So far, you know, what's been the reaction of people to you as an Israeli fighter? How do other fighters accept you?
So it depends. Mostly I have in my gym immigrants from all over the world. Like 20% are actually Americans. So it all depends, you know. We have like people that don't really know the situation, that claim both sides but don't really know what's happening. But once you have like a personal connection with them and they start talking to you in a friendly way, then you're just trying to really explain them what's really happening. They're more open to listen to you, and then they realize, you know, because I don't want to force the truth. People need to understand because it's common sense and logic, you know. It's good against bad, and people that is right with their mind always pick the good ones. So that's why.
How would you feel about having a fight within an Arab fighter or Muslim fighter?
It depends. I don't have nothing against Muslim. I have problem against anti-Israel and anti-Jews around the world. And that's gonna be a good fight for sure. I use that as fuel. To be honest, yeah.
That's great. So let me ask you another question. You know, ever since the UFC had a major spike in viewership and people being interested, much more young people and young kids are looking at MMA as a sport to get into, even for a career. What's your advice to a young Jewish boy or a young boy anywhere in the world who sees MMA fighters and wants to know if this is something he should get involved in?
So it's probably not for everyone. I mean, the sport is beautiful to see, and you see really the most massacre men you can see. They're all tough, you know, fighting is like the most natural thing in the world. We have fought, especially Jews, fighting since the beginning of time. But it's not for everyone, especially if you're like not willing to do everything that it needs to be done. It's hard work inside the cage and outside the cage, training every day, you know, waking up early, go to sleep early, training throughout the day and acting like a professional, but you have to do that. You know, if you're willing to put the work in, you get the reward. So that's what I believe, like everything in life, you know.
Wow, that's beautiful, that's beautiful. So, another question, you know, on this channel we like to take lessons from everything. So far, what has been your biggest lesson that you have learned for life from your path as a fighter?
So I believe that you have to follow something outside of the sport, because I'm not just an athlete. First of all, I'm a human being, and you need something to have, you know. There's a lot of fighters when you see a lot of fighters like Muslim fighters that follow their religion. I'm not saying that our religion is better, but I do say that, but you need something to follow outside that give you strength. You know, if you feel like something is missing there, you know, if you don't believe in something, you don't have something to give you the power, then you go and like, it's not there, you know, you need something to follow and to have other things. Like for me, doing Shabbos and keep Shabbos. Before I came to the US, I didn't keep Shabbos. I was partying with my friends or going somewhere, but after I keep Shabbos and I'm like disconnecting for everything, turning my phone off, nobody can talk with me about business. That's the best thing for me.
Wow, so you feel that keeping Shabbos affected your ability to fight and concentrate?
For sure, I train hard 5 days a week, and Friday I train half a day until like 1 p.m. maybe. But I train very hard. So once Shabbos start, nothing about fighting. I don't talk about my career. I'm just focusing on enjoying Shabbos, praying, eating some good food, being with the Jewish community, with your father, that I have really the privilege to know him, and getting myself in charge myself.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So there's so many things in the Torah which many people think are limiting and restricting, but the truth is they can be enhancing. They can give us more than they take away. They can give us, such clarity, morals, values, peace of mind, tranquility. All these beautiful things that we're getting when really we think we're giving away out of our time for God, for Shabbat, for the holiness. Really, we're receiving so much more.
I believe when you pray 3 times a day, and every day you know what you can and you cannot eat. For example, the kosher, or right here, there is not kosher restaurant, so the temptation of eating junk food is less. And you have a path for your life, outside of the cage. When you're like a man that have rules for himself, you can claim everything you want, and you can chase whatever you want, because when you're like a strong person deep down in your brain, in your character, nobody can break you.
Wow, and that's something interesting. For example, in America, there's not, ratio. There's not like it used to be. There's not so much religious people.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day. But there's started to be new trends of vegan and vegetarian and, people having specific diets and juices and strict routines of exercise because everybody wants something to give them a direction.
Everybody wants to be followed by something. I believe that as a person, as human beings, we want something to chase. We need to chase something. Whether it's your business, whether it's money, whether it's family, which is goals. Right now I'm not afraid to say that I chase money and I chase my goals, because that's the human we are. We always need to hunt something.
Do good with the money.
Yes, of course, and we are hunters. By our identity as human beings, we want something to catch. And I'm not afraid to say that I really want to do. I don't want to just lay and wait until something comes to my hand. I want to catch that.
Now there's a lot of people who've been reaching out to me, especially young people, that they want to know what does a rabbi feel about a person like Andrew Tate. He's a very controversial person. He's bringing in very radical ideas, but he's motivating people. What would a rabbi respond? And the second part to the question is now we know he's a big defender of the Palestinian people. Sometimes it gets a little, controversial with Hamas and stuff like this. As an Israeli fighter and as a fighter in general, what are your opinions on a person like Andrew Tate?
So I believe that he said, how you say that even a broken clock have two times a day that he's right. So sometimes he's saying that right things, to work hard, to train, but I know that he converted to Islam. I heard that on social media. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But I believe that, and I see that in America, that most people that were one religion, that converted to Islam, took the negative stuff to support Palestine, because people all around the world, especially Muslims in America, support Hamas and support Palestine. They don't really understand. Mostly people that they go from the side to the extreme side. From being non-religion and don't believe in nothing, they believe that everything that they do. You need to have the common sense to say that, wait, I respect that you're Muslim. I don't have problem with that. I respect you. Do whatever you want. Pray five times a day, but you still need to know what is good and what is right. What is bad. If you see a massacre like October 7, you know that it's wrong. You don't need to be a genius, or you don't need to be a Jew to understand that it's not correct. And when you see Jewish people being chased, especially in America, as we see horrible videos, you need to understand that it's not right. I believe that people don't really know the situation, and most people don't even want to hear you. And especially people that converted to Islam, they think that they understand everything. It's like, if I'll only listen to my rabbi and nothing else, so it's a problem. You need to be open to all of the ideas and mentalities, and then take whatever you want, but still you need to be open. I'm not saying that you have to agree with me, but just listen to me, because I always come in very polite, shaking everybody's hands, but when people will hear that you're a Jew, then they will turn their back for you, they don't like you anymore, or I don't know, but you'll see that.
After they shake a Jew's hand, they always count their fingers. Not
Yeah.
to make sure they didn't
They
take
go
it.
to wash their hands.
No, but that brings me to my next question. Well, first of all, that's beautiful what you said about the concept. I think is important, not just for when it comes to Israel and Palestine, different stuff, but in general in life. Being open is the way we grow, the way we continue to be better, the way we continue to find new opportunities. Because if you're closed off, so many opportunities you'll miss because you're not open. And even you yourself should be open to becoming different, to changing as we grow and go through different circumstances. We don't think the same way, we don't feel the same way. It's important to be open.
If you're not learning and you're not improving, you have to be like a sponge. Even if you say something that I don't agree with, but still I understand why you say that, If someone is like telling me something, I still want to hear what he's saying. Maybe I will say that I disagree with you, and it's okay. We're all humans. We have got our opinions, but we still need to hear that. And I even heard crazy things about Israel, that people in America never been to Israel, never been to the West Bank or Gaza or whatever, telling me what we do wrong. But I used to be in Israel. I have friends that are in the army right now telling me what's really happening. It's like people out of nowhere tells you what you do right, what you do wrong in your country. Never been there. It's like I can never come to the United States after like I already lived here and say, oh, Biden did that wrong, or Trump did that, or I don't know, George Franklin, I don't know. So you have to, first of all, you have to know the situation to really understand, to hear all the sides, and then you can say whatever you want.
Most people go backwards. They have what they think,
Most people,
and then they say, because this is what I think, this must be the situation, this must be the facts.
Most people open their phone, the first thing that pops in Instagram, that's the truth. For both sides. If you see like a starving kid in Palestine, you say, oh my God, the Palestinian kid in Gaza, which is still Israel. In Gaza, oh, I feel sorry for him. The IDF is the bad people and stuff. But wait, where have you been in the massacre on October 7th? When Jews were burned alive, like in the Holocaust, That's the worst thing that happened to the Jews, I think, since the Israel established, since the country established. People don't want to hear that, especially people know that they know everything, think that they know everything. Wait, but I'm Israeli, I'm Jewish, and I'm in America right now. I'll tell you the most honest answer you can get, especially from a Jew and definitely from Israeli. But hear me first. Don't post Free Palestine or both sides, because if you claim both sides, you're against Israel probably, because you allow terror to win, or to go up with no punishment. That's what I believe.
Wow, that's beautiful. What do you think the difference? Now we have such an intense climate in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's protesters becoming violent. What do you say that to people who compare, fighting in the MMA, which is a violent sport? Well, there's other sports which are violent. Obviously, you have boxing, and you have so many different types of, sumo wrestling, and you have even in hockey people wrestling.
Yeah.
So, what do you say that people who compare professional athletes that fight to random people in the street just getting mad at each other and starting a brawl or just punching each other?
So first of all, we are professional fighters. That's what we do for a living. Like we're chasing to get better as fighters. We're looking to be perfection. We know that there is nothing perfect in life, but we're trying to be the best athlete that we can. And we're fighting inside the cage. Outside the cage, we are gentlemen. If you want to be a good athlete and you want to be a good people, the people will take role model as from you. You have to be kind as a person, and not just fighting. If you see, fighting is natural for human beings. Throughout the history, people fought, and the strongest man won. But you also need to be kind, and you see fighters inside the cage, tough people, all bloody, messed up, fighting 5 rounds for their life. Outside of the cage, they are fully respectful to each other, and they just fought for their life. They're all respectful for each other, for their family. I've seen countless time fighter shake the hand of his opponent wife or his family. In the end of the day, we are all humans and we are all fighters. So that's what I believe.
Wow, so you're just bringing your art to the world.
Yeah,
in a very special way.
I'm a martial artist. That's first of all. MMA, it means mixed martial arts. Why we say martial arts? Because fighting is an art. We're not just two guys in a bar that take swing at each other. You need to know how to fight. Before the fight, we have like a path that I don't think that people really know, that with the diet, with the game plan, with the specific training for the opponent, it's like studying, it's something different. People don't really understand. They see, two guys in a fight, because they're the same weight, fighting for their life, bleeding and stuff. I can do that. you cannot do that. The first time that you really going to meet a professional fighter, you're going to understand that, oh, something different here. So that's the truth. If you think that you're tough, go to your local gym next to your house and see if you're that tough. You know, I can guarantee you that a fighter that is like 16-year-old gonna pound you, and you're gonna go cry home with the black eyes. So.
Okay, now we'll get into some fighting questions.
Yeah.
So, because we have some viewers that are very big MMA fans.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite fighter currently in the NBA?
UFC.
Sorry, in the UFC.
In the
Sorry,
UFC.
guys. UFC.
So currently, my favorite fighter is a up-and-coming fighter called Ilia Topuria. He's from Spain. He's a Georgian that moved to Spain when he was like 15. I'm a big fan of him because he's a young fighter. He's like 26 or 27. He's going to fight for the world championship, which is crazy.
Wow.
Because the current champ, he's like 34 or 35. And you know, when he's in up-and-comer, he's beat everyone he's fighting. He fought. He's like 14 or 15 and 0, never lost. I love his fight.
His skill brought him to this point, or his luck? What do you think?
No, there's no luck.
His skill.
You know, luck ends somewhere. You know, you cannot be lucky every fight. And when after you fight a guy like the top 5 in the world, and you just destroy him for 5 rounds, and you come all pretty and stuff, and you fight him like the best way, I don't know. But I would like to see a young athlete that do something different. You know, bring something different to the sport. That's exciting. You see someone that is bringing like something new. You know. Every time we have the people that the biggest in the generation. We had Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Ronaldo for the soccer. In America, Tiger Woods. I know in America people don't really watch soccer, but still.
Now Messi's in Miami, so
Messi's in Miami.
He's American now.
Which is like my favorite athlete. But, you know.
Who would you say your style of fighting is most similar to, a famous fighter? That you have a most similar style, or you're totally unique?
My style is very identical to me 5 years from now, when I will be famous. I will be a big fighter.
So, but
every fighter is different. Every fighter is different. Is what he likes to do. And when you go through the weights, everything changes, you know? Because the heavier guy, more power. And I'm fighting the lightest division right now, so...
What is your best skill set of the fighting? Is it the punching, the grappling?
So, right now I'm 3-0. As a professional fighter, 3 wins, no losses, and I won all of my fights by submission. So that I'd say, but probably my ground game and my grappling game, but...
So you're basically choking someone on the ground until they tap?
Or snapping their hands. Yeah.
Snapping their head?
Snapping their arms. Breaking the arms.
So the fight ends, or they have to say I'm done?
No, there's referee inside the cage, yeah, or he's
You're doing too much damage.
Yeah.
They have to hold you back.
In the end of the day, it's sports, you know? At the end of the day, we're fighting, but you don't need to die there. It's not a Coliseum.
Wow, so you've been dominant in all your performances.
Thank God, yeah.
Wow.
Thank God.
So now your dream is to become a big fighter in America and in the UFC.
All around the world, you know, I want to be the biggest fighter of our generation and to be the best fighter and to represent my country and my religion, because I don't think that nobody ever done that. So I believe that every time that someone is bringing something new, you get something else, you know, like Conor McGregor did when he represent Ireland, or there's like non-stop examples for that. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, the first
when you think of the country, you think of him?
Of Ireland, for sure. The first thing that we say about Ireland pops that.
Conor McGregor. That's the only thing I know about Ireland.
Me
St.
too.
Patrick's Day, maybe.
Nah.
But let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
If you could tell me one person, who is your the most favorite Israeli?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Interesting. Why is that?
I believe that he's like representing Israel for like years. He's the prime minister. He's doing good stuff. Maybe sometimes he's not doing the right stuff, but
overall, he's your favorite.
He's on top for like, I don't know, 20 years. He's the prime minister in Israel.
Many people outside of Israel, when they think of Israel, they think of him.
He represents Israel amazing, you know. He's like very, very politely. Everybody around the world, even if they don't like him, they respect him. You know, the man threw so much. He was in the army. He lost his brother in the army. That's the man that really understands, you know. And I think that right now nobody can change him, can take his spot, you know.
Can replace him?
No, I don't think so.
Who would you say is your most favorite American? Besides me, obviously. Besides the Rebel Rabbi. Who is your most favorite American? Since being here, you know, you've seen a lot of the culture.
Maybe your father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So the head rabbi from Sacramento.
Yeah. Rabbi
That's
Mendy.
beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I came here, nobody really knew me, so when you're alone in somewhere that you've never been, you need something, you know. And for me, when I was in Israel, I wasn't really religious. I was close to the religion. I knew what to do, what not to do, but still something wasn't really there. But when you're alone and you go to the synagogue for the holiday, because in Israel we always go to the synagogue on the holiday. But on Friday I wasn't going, and I was going out with friends to the clubs and going to the beach or something. But right now, your father told me like, yeah, come to my house, keep Shabbos, stay at our house, sleep, no problem. So it's bringing something different, the person, and he's very kind to you, and he get nothing from that, He doesn't really know me. That the first time I told him like I'm coming, he was like, yeah, come to my house, eat Friday night dinner with my house. Come next day, stay with my kids, play with my kids, and I met amazing people here. If your favorite person don't need to be famous. You just need to be
now
famous.
we're gonna make him famous.
Now you're gonna make him famous.
You'll make him famous. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining in this wonderful conversation with Stav Shwartz. Check him out on Instagram, everywhere. Stav Shwartz from the MMA.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, and very soon, one of the biggest stars in the UFC,
Amen.
hopefully representing
Amen.
the Jewish nation, representing Israel all over the world. Shalom. This is the Rebel Rabbi.